Good morning, guys. How are you? I hope everything goes well. Okay, for today's session, we're going just to study the topic related to our third model, which is the last one. Don't forget it, okay? Right here, according to it, you are just going to focus on the different aspects regarding to all the information to this topic, okay? Please, let's wait a minute. And right here. Okay, let's start. The topics that we're going to focus on are the following: study gerunds, infinitives, and modal verbs. According to those three topics, you're going to take into account them to start making your own sentences. Okay? Regarding to it, remember that gerunds are referring to the verbs that are followed by ing. When we use gerunds, is because we're using them in some specific, like certain situations. We use gerunds with the verb plus ing after a certain verb. Some people discuss watching football matches, enjoy, avoid, dislike, recommend, suggest, mind, keep, finish, and discuss. Ok, entonces recordemos que el uso de los gerundios se hace cuando tenemos el verbo y a este le vamos a agregar la ing. En este caso, los verbos que vemos acá dentro de la pantalla siempre van a ir seguidos por un gerundio. Always they're going to be followed by a gerund. So let's see the example. Some people discuss watching football matches. I can't not say discuss to watch. No, the correct way to say that is using this verb with ing. I could say that some people avoid drinking alcohol, right? Finish. Some people finish exercising in the morning. Dislike. Some people dislike eating a lot, right? All of these verbs are going to be followed by a gerund in all of these cases. Just remember them, try to study them. They are more, just those are some examples, are the most popular ones that you just focus on them and start learning and getting new input. Okay, now let's see. For the gerunds as well, there is another use. So first of all, we were seeing that some verbs are followed by this grammar tense. But also, when we have a preposition like as we have right here, after, before, for, in, on, we have to use as well this, in this case, the following word followed by ing. Let's read the example. I had breakfast before taking a shower. As you can see right here, this one is a preposition and this one is a verb in the gerund way. Okay? I could say, I had breakfast after taking a shower or dressing up. Yeah, there is going to be another example. Another one. I study, or we can say, I study before leaving home, which is a pretty, it's kind of weird percentage. It happens if you want to present or take a task, you will do it. Okay, don't forget it. This one is going to be the second use of it, just taking into account all of these prepositions. If you want to use some, like during the moment you're speaking, but just be careful with the use of it, all right? Let's make another example in. Okay, where we can say with in. I gain knowledge in. There is possible to say that. Maybe it depends of the sentence, but some of the times there is going to be difficult to make. Then depends of the verb. For instance, if I say that I get involved in learning English, there is going to be a very good example according to it. Just be aware of the use of these prepositions to use gerunds as well. Okay, some of the verbs are just permitted to use them, but some of them are not because maybe they are not going to make sense. Good, perfect. And the other use of gerunds is when we use like this grammar tense like a subject or the object of a sentence. For example, reading is a good activity to learn, and drinking water is better than coffee. For those two examples, as you can see, they are placed at the very beginning of the sentence. Por eso se consideran como el sujeto o el objeto de la oración. En este caso, el reading, sabemos que como verbo, vamos a decir que es leer, pero como sustantivo, como el sujeto del enunciado, sería la lectura. Es una buena actividad para leer. In this case, la ingesta de agua es mejor que el café. As you can see right there, yes, always they are going to be placed at the very beginning of the sentence. And we can make them like a gerund, that's why, okay? Followed by ing. Now, according to these three uses, don't forget, and I'm going to go back. The first use is with those verbs. They are going to be followed by a gerund because they have to, there is a rule. In the second part, in the second use of it, those prepositions, when you are immediately use this preposition and after it, it's a verb, you have to use it like a gerund. And the third use, it's some articles, papers, when we are writing or speaking, we use like some verbs placed at the very beginning of the sentence like a gerund. That is the third use of it. For the infinitives, the connotation of it changes a little, but just let's see the differences between those two topics. For the infinitives, we use to plus verb in the infinitive way after certain verbs. Okay, this one is going to be the first use as we explained before, that as we saw before. Agree, promise, learn, want, ask, hope, and decide. All of these verbs are going to be followed by an infinitive, right? I promise to be ready at 7 o'clock. I want to eat a hot dog. In this case, in the first sentence, as you can see right here, we have like this kind of verb followed by an infinitive. I promise to be. I want to eat. I learn to drive. I learn to speak, right? I decide to go, right? All of these verbs always are going to be followed by to and the verb in the base form. In this case, and according to it, just the difference that we have is at the moment that we are creating some sentences, it is important to take into account if those verbs are followed by a gerund and an infinitive. How can we know that? In internet, you can find different lists or different verbs which say, okay, verbs followed by gerunds, and you can find a list of them as well as the infinitive was. Just the most important idea according to this is that you can identify and recognize them at the moment that you are going to create some sentences. So I suggest you looking for different information in terms of that and start just making like own examples. Okay? This would be the second use according to the infinitives. We have to plus the verb, the main verb. After adjectives, some documents are important to create an article. This one is the example. As you can see right here, all of them are adjectives, they are qualities. We talk about or represent something in regards to a person, a place, an object, or an animal, or whatever. Easy, difficult, good, bad, new, different, important. According to this list, and as you can see right there, yes. So let's see. Right here, we use to, of course, and main verb. If I want to use another kind of adjective, there is going to be okay, of course. But the most important idea is that you are going to use this grammar topic. So we can say that, sorry, exercises are good to do in the morning. All right, new. Some cell phones are new to sell in different companies. All right, another word, easy. Some people think that learning languages is easy to get new input and to understand other culture. All right, good. And there is another use according to this topic. We use infinitive, which is to plus verb to show purpose. I have different purposes of making different things because according to my life, I want to do this and this and this and this. Let's see some examples. She travels to Cali to visit her grandmother. You read a lot of books to write an essay. Both of them are showing a purpose about something, yes? If you really want to travel to another place, it's because maybe you want to visit your family or it's just because you want to travel. But in the case of read a lot of books, it could be because of a test or an exam. But some people say, no, I really want to read a lot of books because or I needed to write an essay, or I read it, I needed to write a report or something else. It depends on the connotation that you really want to make according to that. Okay, so those are those topics that you're going to be aware of and study them and taking into account then for making the following activity. So let's continue with another topic, which is called going to future. When we use going to is because you are talking about something that is going to happen later. Yeah. Just let's see the explanation according to the grammar. Be careful of using it later on. So for affirmative sentences, we're going to take into account this chart. Subject, verb to be plus going to the verb in base form and the complement. In this case, as you can see right here, we have the whole subjects, she, it, we, you, they, he, she, but depends of the subject, we have to make it or have to fit it with the verb to be. Are, or is. It depends of the subject we have right here, going to. Recordemos que siempre el going va seguido por el to, always, cuando estamos haciendo uso del going to like future, right? Don't forget it because sometimes um, we can make some mistakes leaving out or leaving to out of the sentence, which is not correct because always we have to include it. After that, we have by, which is the main verb, and later on we have the complement. That is going to be like the affirmative way to use this part. The negative form is just when we want to deny some information, we're going to modify verb to be using not. Just add after this grammar component this not. And that is going to be completely okay. I'm not going to buy a new house. She's not going to buy a new house, and so on. For the interrogative way to make those questions, you have to be careful with the use of that. So just remember that the most of the times in English that we want to make some questions, we have to modify the order of some words. In this case, we are going to put the verb to be first, after that the subject, going to verb and complement. This part, as you can see, it keeps in the same way. But those two columns are changed. So you're gonna just change the order of them, change the order, and later on you're going just to put the question mark. Remember something, this question mark always is placed at the end of the question, not in the beginning. Just in Spanish, we just really want to put it at the beginning also, but in English is not, okay? Is not mandatory, is just prohibited, is forbidden. Recordemos que el uso del signo de interrogación siempre lo vamos a colocar solamente al final de la pregunta, nunca va al inicio. Modal verbs, we have can, could, should, and have to. Cuando utilizamos los verbos modales, para hablar de cierta situación donde nosotros queremos dar un consejo, podemos hablar sobre alguna actividad, tal vez tenemos algún tipo de pregunta y podemos hablar de obligaciones. En ese sentido, vamos a utilizar alguno de ellos dependiendo de la connotación que nosotros queramos hacer de dicho enunciado. For example, to start talking about modal verbs, it is important to take into account we have like a lot of them and we are going just to focus on some of them. Right here, as you can see, we have the use of can and can't. We use can and can't to talk about abilities. This one is going to be the first use of this part. For example, thinking about yourself. Si ustedes piensan en sí mismos, ¿qué tipo de habilidades ustedes creen que tienen? Algunos me van a decir, yo soy bueno para diseñar programas or for count money or whatever. Yes, the most important idea is that you are going to identify if in the sentence you're going to create, you want to use a modal verb like can to talk about skills. Maria can speak four languages. It's an ability because not everyone can speak four languages. Yeah, maybe two or three, but it depends, or maybe just one. I can't swim, but my sister can. So if you just look at this part, this one is the way that we are going to make this sentence negative, right? I can't or I cannot swim. Or my sister can. You are expressing that this person has the ability to do it instead of this person who doesn't have this skill. Okay. So the second use is to talk about something or like an event or an action that is possible or is impossible to happen. So, for example, some people say that learning English can be difficult. Yes, it's a possibility. Yeah, it is a pretty common sentence, but it doesn't mean that it's true. Sometimes there are some people who say, okay, I think so. But maybe for other people, learning French is sometimes difficult. It depends about your personal perception. All right. Children can be very naughty. This one is just like a perception about some kind of population, but it doesn't mean it's true or false. It's still light, it can be bedtime. Okay. You are just looking at the sky. Cuando vemos al cielo y decimos, todavía está iluminado. Mm, No es tiempo para ir a cama. En este caso, nosotros estamos hablando de algo que es imposible o posible. So, this one is the second use. Let's just see the third use of it, which is according to requests and refusals. When we just mean to want to ask for something, we're going to use this kind of question. Can I go home now? Other person is going to say, yes, you can, or no, you can't. Yeah. Estamos preguntando algún tipo de información, una petición. ¿Puedo irme ya a casa? Alguna persona puede decir que sí o puede refutar dicha pregunta. No, you can't. Yeah, that is going to be the negative way to use this modal verb. You can go whenever you like. Yeah, of course, there is going to be an affirmative sentence making use of it. You can borrow the car today, but you can't have it tomorrow. This one, it is something that we can say allowed to do it. But in the second part, this person is refusing this information. All right. To offer to help someone. This one is the first use of this modal verb can. Can I help you? Can I carry that bag for you? When you really want to help someone, depends. It doesn't mean there is like your friend, relative, whoever. Yeah, you can use this modal verb and taking into account something. Recordemos que con los verbos modales, a diferencia de otros verbos como el presente simple, el pasado simple, entre otros, es el verbo principal no se conjuga, siempre va a aparecer de la misma manera. En este caso, cuando decimos can I help you, can I carry that bag for you, si utilizáramos en cambio de primera persona, tercera persona como el she, can she help me? Yeah. For instance, the verb, it doesn't modify at all because just with modal verbs, the verb, the main verb is going to keep in the same way. All right? Good, perfect. Now, let's look at those beautiful drawings and you're going to thinking about some abilities these animals have, okay? For the first one, okay, for this cat. So the cat can jump, can run, can walk. The eagle can fly, can discover the world. Could and could. We use those two words according to is so similar in the way that we want to express ability or skills, but there is just one difference. The main difference is when we use could or couldn't is because we really want to talk about the past, okay? The past tense. We want to use to talk about abilities in the past. Entonces van a pensar qué tipo de habilidades tenían cuando pequeños que tal vez ya no las tenemos. If we really want to think about that, maybe we say a lot of things because when we were younger, we did a lot of things. Maybe right now it's a little bit tricky for us. It's different. I could run very fast when I was younger. Perfect. Yo podía correr. Entonces tenemos el verbo modal could y luego sigue el verbo también en presente simple. Siempre va a ser de la misma manera. Like when we have modal verbs, the main verbs don't modify them. To say, okay, she couldn't get a job anywhere. Ella no podía conseguir un trabajo en ningún lugar. Tal vez porque era muy joven, right? Because she was too young. But maybe right now she get a job. It depends according to the connotation that you really want to make according to the situation. It's happening at the moment. Number two, yeah. To say that something was possible or impossible. Our teacher could be very strict when we were at school. Some teachers were very strict. It's a possibility. Maybe, for example, right now you are in the university and you had a perception according to each of your professors. And you think, maybe I think that this professor could be very strict in the past, right? But you are not sure about this information is true or false. Number two, people could starve in those days. Oh, maybe, yes, but you're not really sure about it. You couldn't use computers in the 19th century. It's a possibility. Number three, to make a polite request. Cuando hacemos una petición de manera cortés, vamos a utilizar el could. Habíamos visto anteriormente que podemos hacer uso del can for requests and refusals. Yeah, but this one is a little bit more informal, but it depends of the context. For this part, we're going to use could. Could I go now, please? Or could you lend me a dictionary, please? Just remember to use this kind of modal verb to just make this sentence correct. Number four, to make a polite offer. Could I give you a lift? I could carry that for you. As you can see right here, is an offer, the same as here, to offer to help someone. Just the difference in this one is a little bit more informal, the use of can, different from could, that it's a little bit more polite. Should and shouldn't. When we use should and shouldn't, to give a piece of an advice or to talk about what we think is right or wrong. Cuando vamos a dar consejos, generalmente decimos, tú deberías hacer tal cosa, right? En este caso, si utilizamos el should, sería la forma positiva, es porque creemos que es una buena idea hacer cierta acción, a diferencia del shouldn't, with that you consider that is a bad idea for you to do it. So, in this part, look at this example. You look tired. I think you should take a few days off. This one is just the recommendation or the piece of advice that you want to give another person. Some people say, oh, you look desesperated. I think you should rest at home. But it depends according to the kind of advice that you really want to give another person that you want to say. Okay? So, podemos utilizar el think or I don't think para hacer la oración un poco más completa. En este caso, el should is used to express the opinion of a speaker and often follows I think or don't think. La opinión del hablante en relación a una situación, right? It could be according to the moment that you are speaking or about a situation that is happening in the world or in any specific moment. Okay, have to. When we use have to talk about obligations, the most of the times, when you really want to do something, is because you are able to do it, or maybe if you have to do it, it's just like a rule, it's just an obligation you have to accomplish because there is no way to change it. In this case, in this regard, we're going to study the grammar component according to this modal verb. Have to, has to in the simple present. I, we, you, they. I have to get up early. He, she, it. She has to get up early. Como vemos en el caso de las oraciones afirmativas, en este caso, tenemos que para los primeros pronombres el I, we, you, and they vamos a utilizar have, a diferencia de tercera persona donde utilizamos el has. En esa parte el verbo sí tiene que ir conjugado. Oraciones negativas, we have I do not have to get up early. She doesn't have to get up early. We just modify the auxiliar. Modificamos el auxiliar. En este caso, para plural o primera persona utilizamos el do or do not in the negative, and for third person, does not. For the questions, we're going to use it as well. Do I have to get up early? And does she have to get up early? Como vemos acá en este caso, en la pregunta no vamos a conjugar el verbo solamente en oraciones que son tercera persona positivo. Okay, just the only difference. And we have to keep those auxiliaries in the same way according to the subject we use. Had to in the simple past. If we really want to emphasize that some action was obligatory for us in the past, we're going to use had to. I had to get up early, yeah, maybe in the past, right? Because you had to study a lot, so that's why. I did not have to get up early. And did I have to get up early? Recordemos que el did se utiliza para todos los sujetos que nosotros tenemos cuando estamos hablando del pasado. Yeah, always. It doesn't change if we are talking about third person or plural. Just it keeps in the same way. And the activity that we are going to focus on, there is going to be the following. Don't take into account these days. Recuerden que la fecha de entrega es para desde hoy, abril 17, hasta abril 24. What is going to be the idea according to that? So you're going to correctly use yours and going to correctly use topics explained in the folder Material de Estudio, to correctly use technical or specific vocabulary related to plans as manager or supply from a company. What do you have to do? First of all, you're going to make a list of the activities that you should do after a purchase meeting. At least 10 sentences, por lo menos van a escribir 10 oraciones, teniendo en cuenta una lista de actividades que ustedes deberían hacer cuando estamos hablando the purchase meeting. Number two, create an oral presentation where you describe the activities written in the previous list. Van a escribir entonces allí las actividades de la lista anterior. And remember to use topics of the module 3 and the vocabulary of your glossary. Very important to take it into account because sometimes you don't use much the glossary words, but you can just take advantage of them and put it into the sentence. What do you have to say? You're going to create an oral presentation using, van a utilizar screencats.com when you present the list you created, and don't forget to record your voice in the presentation. That is going to be pretty important. Recuerden que tienen acceso al material de estudio del corte 3 que está en formato PDF. También encontramos la base de datos de la línea en línea de la universidad, el material complementario que tenemos allí y hagan uso de la herramienta Screencats to record your voice and just make the presentation. This one is all for today's session. I really hope you understand. If you have any questions, don't forget to contact me to my email, personal email, or if you want to write a message and send it by virtualnet.com. Okay, this one that is all for today, guys. I hope that you had a very good day. And that is all. So thank you so much and enjoy your day.